In the bustling heart of a large city, a corporation on the brink of collapse found itself unexpectedly guided by someone who had never been considered a leader, at least not in the traditional sense. The CEO, once revered, had lost his grip on the company's direction, and the board members were scrambling for answers. Tensions rose, panic spread like wildfire, and employees feared for their future. Amidst this chaos, a quiet figure emerged from the shadows, not through titles or authority, but by action. The most unlikely person began to take the reins, not through force, but through service. Who was this person? How did they manage to save a crumbling empire when those with power could not? This story reveals a stunning truth about leadership and how it often appears in the most unexpected ways. The year was 2018, and Coleman Enterprises, a renowned software company, was in trouble. Sales had plummeted, client confidence was shaken, and the board had lost faith in their CEO, Richard Hale, a man known for his stern leadership style and relentless focus on numbers. Employees were on edge, and whispers about layoffs and department shutdowns spread like a virus through the office halls. In the middle of this storm was Jenna, a middle manager in charge of a small support team. Jenna had always been the quiet one, rarely speaking up in meetings, often overlooked because she didn't have an imposing presence or the fiery ambition that others displayed. She was, however, known for one thing: she cared deeply for her team and often went out of her way to help colleagues, even those outside of her department. As the company's troubles worsened, Hale doubled down on his top-down approach, demanding more hours, tighter deadlines, and the performance at all costs mentality. Morale hit rock bottom, and even the most dedicated employees began looking for jobs elsewhere. The board was in panic mode, calling for drastic measures, but nothing seemed to be working. One afternoon, Jenna overheard a conversation between two of her colleagues. They had been on a marathon of troubleshooting client issues due to a faulty software update, and both were exhausted. As they spoke about how disconnected management seemed from the realities of their workload, Jenna decided to step in. She didn't have the authority to change the system, but she knew she could do something. That evening, Jenna stayed late, pulling together a detailed report of the issues her team had been facing, outlining practical solutions. She also crafted a proposal for a new approach to handling client concerns, one based on collaboration, transparency, and, most importantly, service. The next morning, instead of sending the report to Hale, she sent it to the heads of departments, inviting them to an informal meeting to discuss her findings. At first, the department heads were skeptical. Jenna wasn't part of upper management, and the problems seemed far too big for someone at her level to solve. But her detailed report and clear plan caught their attention. They saw that her suggestions weren't about blaming or finding faults, they were about understanding the real challenges and working together to fix them. Word spread quickly about Jenna's initiative. Slowly, more employees started to follow her lead. She organized small working groups to tackle specific issues, encouraged open communication across departments, and started holding weekly check-ins to ensure everyone felt heard. Without ever being asked, Jenna had stepped into a leadership role. She wasn't issuing commands or asserting authority. Instead, she was listening, helping, and guiding the company out of its crisis by focusing on service to others. Meanwhile, Hale continued to demand more results, oblivious to the quiet changes taking place beneath him. The tension between his autocratic style and the growing collaborative culture within the company reached a breaking point when a major client threatened to walk away. It was a situation that could have pushed Coleman Enterprises into bankruptcy. In a dramatic board meeting, Hale tried to assert his control by pushing for more aggressive sales tactics to save the client. But one of the department heads stood up and spoke out, mentioning Jenna's approach. A ripple of agreement moved through the room. Hale was stunned. How had this mid-level manager become the voice of reason? With the board's attention now fully on Jenna, they asked her to present her strategy. Nervous but composed, Jenna explained how a customer-first approach, coupled with improved internal collaboration, had already started to turn the tide. She presented real-time data showing increased employee satisfaction, faster resolution of client issues, and positive feedback from other key customers. As Jenna spoke, the board members were visibly impressed. For the first time in months, they saw a glimmer of hope. The decision was made on the spot to implement her plan company-wide. Hale, furious and blindsided, was asked to step down as CEO, and an interim leadership team was formed, with Jenna placed as a senior advisor. The company's fortunes turned around in the following months. Clients stayed, employees felt more valued, and Coleman Enterprises regained its footing. Jenna was eventually offered a promotion to a leadership role, though she declined the title, preferring to continue working closely with her team in a more hands-on capacity. She wasn't interested in power or authority. She was only focused on serving the people around her. Thank you for joining us in today's story on Tales with Meaning. Through Jenna's journey, we're reminded that true leadership is not about titles or authority, but about service and dedication to others. When people lead by serving and focusing on the greater good, they can achieve what even those in power may fail to do. Leadership comes not from forcing people to follow, but from inspiring them through actions, empathy, and care. And that's a lesson we can all carry into our own lives, whether we're in charge or simply part of a team. Thanks for listening, and we hope this story sparks something meaningful in you.